Ever since I started posting about these lanterns over on Instagram, I've gotten so many questions about how I build them. So today I'm going to cover my process step by step as I build a few more designs that you don't see here. I'll cover everything from the types of wood that I use, the tools that I use, how I carve the faces, the building and assembly of the lantern itself, as well as templates and what types of lights that I use. So let's talk about the lumber that I use first. I like to use fence boards to build these lanterns, and you can either buy cedar fence boards or you can buy pine 1x6s. They're essentially the same size. I really do like the whiteness of the pine boards, but they tend to have a lot more knots and defects, at least where I buy them, whereas the cedar just smells so good, and it's also a great option if you want to leave the lanterns outdoors. So I'm going to be working with cedar today. They're both sold as 1x6s, but the actual dimensions will be about 5/8 thick and about 5¼ inches wide. I personally like to start by first planing them down 1/2 inch. Usually that means just a light pass once or twice on each side. Planing the board helps to remove any cupping the board may have and will also give it a nice flat, smooth surface. And having slightly less thickness on the board will also make it a little easier when it comes to carving the patterns with a router. To carve the faces, you're going to need a router. This is a 1¼ inch plunge router. You'll also need a 5/16 guide bushing as well as an extra long 1/8 inch upcut spiral bit. And I'll get into a lot more details about these in a bit. You'll need some double-sided tape, and this one's my absolute favorite. You'll need a utility knife, and I just love this flip-out design that I found at Princess Auto. It just folds right back up, and you can slip it in your pocket. You'll also need a small pry bar, and of course, you'll need the templates. I first started designing these templates for Halloween. I made 8 jack-o'-lantern designs, and they were a big hit. So I thought, why not Christmas too? They would make great decorations. So I designed 12 Christmas lantern templates. These are made of 6mm clear cast acrylic that I cut out using my laser. They're available for purchase on my website for US residents and also available on Etsy, where I offer international shipping and you can shop in your local currency. I'll include both links down below. Notice how the template isn't exactly how the lantern turns out once carved. There is a slight offset. These templates are designed to be used with a guide bushing that'll ride along the template without biting into it. You can use a 5/16 guide bushing, or even use the guide bushing from your router inlay kit if you have one. They're the same size. If you have a Bosch router like I do, I highly recommend that you buy this kit that comes with a bunch of different size guide bushings, and it also comes with the adapter ring that you'll need in order to mount guide bushings to your router. Now, if you have a different type of router, there's a good chance that you'll be able to mount regular guide bushings that look something like this, that just screw onto the base. You can also get these ones. Once you have the adapter ring for Bosch, it'll fit on this one too, so you've got some choices. I'll install a 1/8 spiral bit in my router. A regular bit will just be too short to cut all the way through the wood, so you'll need to purchase a long bit, and I've left a link down below to the bit that I use. After testing both, I found that an upcut bit is better than downcut because it leaves a cleaner cut. It pulls the chips up towards the router and helps clear away the chips rather than pushing them down into the cavity. You'll need to use a sacrificial backer board because you'll be cutting all the way through the wood with the bit, and you likely don't want to carve into your workbench. I'll secure the template to the lantern face with double-sided tape. You don't need to use too much tape here. It'll just make it really hard to get the template off later. You only need a couple small pieces of this stuff. This is a fantastic double-sided tape that I highly recommend. Be sure to check the description box below for the link. Once that's done, I'll use some more double-sided tape to stick this down to the sacrificial backer board. You can use a little more tape here, but try not to put the tape behind where the face is so it doesn't gum up your router bit. And make sure it's secure. Next, I'll set the router depth. I'll first bottom it out in the center of the template with the bit touching the wood, then set that as my 0. I'll then set the depth rod to just a hair over 1/2 inch. My board is 1/2 inch, but I want to make sure I get all the way through. With the router up against the template, I'll plunge the bit all the way down and slowly make my way around clockwise. You'll feel the difference once you've made it all the way around. And if all goes right, the pieces should just come right out. I like to make the cuts in one single deep pass. I'm not saying it's the best way, but after experimenting, this is my preferred method. Yes, you might snap your bit. It happened to me once after cutting about 10 of these in a row when the bit got too hot and made it brittle in my opinion. You could also do it in 2 passes if you prefer. It'll just take a little longer and you might be able to see that it was cut in 2 passes, but experiment with it and see what you like best. Once done, I'll use a small pry bar to gently pull up the template and save it for next time. I love how easily this tape comes off without ripping away the fibers of the wood. But if you do feel the need to clean these templates, just a little 99% isopropyl alcohol, if I can say that, it works wonders and it won't damage the template. I can then pull up the lantern face from the backer board, being very gentle so it doesn't crack. Looking good, Santa. You may need to sand away some of the fuzzies if the cut isn't perfectly clean. I just used 220 grit to gently wipe them away. If you use an orbital sander, be very careful as it can catch on the edges and potentially ruin your work. Let's talk about the lantern design and the parts you'll need to cut. I made a very simple lantern design that has a removable lid so you can pop open the lid and drop in a tea light. You can make 2 lanterns out of one 6-foot fence board if you optimize your cuts. And as a result of all the requests I get, I've created build plans that detail out the measurements, cut list, and optimal cutting layout so you can easily get 2 lanterns from one board. Alright, onto assembly. I've got the face and back, 2 sides, a bottom, and the lid parts. I've seen most people assemble these with a little glue and brad nails, but sometimes I like to get a little fancy and skip the nails for a cleaner look. It's a little more work because you have to align and clamp all the parts, so up to you to decide which method you want to use. I'll simply press fit the bottom piece and get it lined up flush, then secure it with brad nails. For the lid, I'll just apply a few dabs of glue, wiggle it around a little, and visually center it. But I do have the measurements spelled out in the plans if you prefer to be a little more precise than me. Then add a little weight and let it dry. I'll give the box a light sanding to flush up any uneven edges. You can leave it raw or paint it or finish it however you want. The finishing touch is to add a flickering flameless tea light. These are battery operated, so there's no risk of setting the lanterns on fire, but you still get that real candle flicker. Be sure to check the description below for links to the templates, the plans, and links to all the tools and materials I mentioned throughout the video. Until next time, thanks for watching, see you soon.